ReZero, Season 4, Episode 6. Oh no! We're flashing back to this. That's very interesting. At a time like this, I sort of don't want to revisit it, but man, how far we've come. That's not how we do things around here. You're making a mockery of our whole system. Though it is great that now that it's more appropriately harnessed, became something that Julius is drawn to, probably because he needs it. That would be a really fun thing to get into. Yeah, she's afraid of this guy, right? This is the original stick swinger. That's what she called him. And then Julius steps in with his newfound sword. And then he just throws it. Yeah, why'd you throw the sword? Won't be needing this. I guess he's giving it to him. That was so dramatic. Julia's super riled up about this. Yeah. Pick it up and fight me. He looks awfully confident. Yeah, maybe he doesn't need it. Uh-oh. Oh, that's so humiliating. Chopsticks. Yeah, that's in the intro too, right? The sword becomes a chopsticks. And you're the snack. Oh, this is humiliating for Julius. Maybe this is Julius's pride coming out. Okay, this dude's scary. I understand her fear now. I understand what she's afraid of. In hindsight, it also makes a little bit more sense why he's called Stick Swinger. Sticks Swinger. Just a random thing to throw in here prematurely. For some reason, at the beginning of this season with Julius, the line from Fight Club came to mind. It's only once you've lost everything that you're free to do anything. Well, like, Julius has lost a lot, but I think one thing he has not lost yet is his pride. There would be some great irony in that, you know, especially given his treatment of Subaru, who has had to deal with his pride in his own way. This also may be connected to why he is, or has become, drawn to Subaru, who sort of lets it all hang loose. And like, in a way, I guess, thinking about it now, Subaru is letting it all hang loose is maybe a mechanism by which his pride gets properly dealt with, right? Because he gets humbled. Like, he puts himself out there and he throws himself into things, and so he has more chances for feedback. But if you are just sort of like trying to maintain your image and project perfection so that you can hold yourself in high esteem and you kind of just like rest there, yeah, no one thinks you're stupid and maybe you have fewer embarrassments, but maybe the downside also is that you're not really growing. I also love the way they animated that kick separately. Wow. He's having a great time. It was his whole life flash before his eyes. Oh no, oh no! Oh, not, oh man, yeah, please don't do that. Thank you for the assist, but this is humiliating that we got an assist. Remember when we were trying to give him a fair fight? Remember that 30 seconds ago? And he's doing this hungover, no less. Everyone else is watching in awe. You're not helping? Yeah, and you're just gonna hurt yourself. That seemed like the real Anastasia, no? I'm like a little bit confused though. Hold on a second. I gotta go back and watch the ending of that last episode again. Is this even the challenge? Like, Julius just took issue with this dude being here. He's like, well, you think you're strong? You think you're so cool looking with your little moon eye patch? Fight me. Is this like necessary? I don't know. Is this earning his pardon? Is this even him? He said in the third person earned his pardon. Oh, that's right. He challenged us to move him one step. But then we've succeeded, no? I mean, we haven't like forced him to do it. We haven't like forced him to give Julius a beatdown. He's doing that of his own volition and just, you know, love of the game. He moved a lot of steps as he dragged Julius across the ground. It just makes it look so easy. It's so effortless. One-handed. You're just a follower after all. Oh no! Oh my god, this is humiliating. He called him useless as a knight. I mean, there's so many injuries and insults. Where to begin? Alright. And just something about it, it's hard to put my finger on, but the way Julius carries himself, it's worse. It feels more embarrassing. I guess largely because of how much it means to him. How much it's like a solitary identity thing. The fact that he so evidently cares about his image, it like hurts worse. You're getting the sympathetic embarrassment as well. And to be called a poor excuse for a knight after all we've seen and been through and after all we know that means to him, and after Subaru's whole like self-proclaimed knight thing and that whole journey, it just feels like Julius is just beginning. Uh-oh, she will murder you. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, he's moved a lot of steps. Right. It's a metaphor. So what's the actual challenge? We should probably figure that out. She says it like an insult, but that's very honest. And probably true. Yeah. everyone
だけど
saw it.
私たちは試験を乗り越えなきゃいけないの。だから勝てる方法を用意してくだ
Well,
さ
why
い。
don't you first just give us the conditions of winning? What's the actual challenge?
一歩でも動かせたらおめえの勝ちにしてやんや。
Starting now? Okay.
手当てしてあげて。
Julius is dead. He died
見たろ無
from
策で
アイ
embarrassment.
スブランドアーツ。
Just one step. It shouldn't be that that hard. You would think.
やれることを精一杯やるのが私の騎士様から教わったやり方。
What a nice compliment. That's moving. There's got to be something else. I don't know. I don't think. This is also sort of more of the same, you know? Yeah. You got to think outside the box. I feel like, you know, a strong wind or something. Something that just can't be parried. We're just going to just tackle him. Wow, just straight up attacking him. That's amazing. I mean, she is giving it everything. That was a confusing attack. Yeah, what? Oh, I see. That's cool. She like laid her weapons out first. Yeah, you forget sometimes, right, that she's an actual beast. Not technically a step. That's inappropriate. I don't appreciate that. You lost. That's losing. We all lost. Was that a step? If we're going by basketball rules, you moved your pivot foot.
体に触られただけでしょ。あなた好きだらけだったもの。
ざっけんでどういう育ち方
This is
してん
sort
だ
of a problem,
親は何
maybe.
してやがってんだ
Yeah, what is going on? I don't think that's, well, congratulations on winning the challenge. But I also appreciate the not going the trope route.
何か変なこと言った？
おいこの
Subaru
激
more
な
upset
の
than she
なん
is.
とかしろ外歩かせんな
Now we're just concerned for her.
やるくそやる滞在式よぶっ殺せ。
気持ちはわかるけど。
And this is without miasma. The real miasma was our love for Emilia.
はあ仕方ねえ言ったことは言ったことだ
I respect that he's honoring it.
ここで食い下がったら俺の株が下がんだろうが
Yeah, you don't want to welch on a promise.
現時点で株なんか下がりようがないくらい最低の負け方してるぞ。
I mean, did you see what he did to Julius? Did we see the same fight? I mean, different things happening simultaneously. This dude is hella strong. This is just a different level of ability. He made Julius look like a child. He made Julius want to be erased. But yeah, maybe, I guess, character-wise, personality-wise, you're a drunk and a pervert. Not a great look.
次はザコがやんのか
Emilia got the clear one. That's cool.
次は誰が俺を抜いてくれ
Oh
んだ
no, they have to do it individually.
なあおめえよ
That's tough. That's a problem.
相手のお眼鏡にかなった。ええ、勝てたの。やっぱり私だけでも上に。
No, please don't.
ほら
You're not ready, and many other reasons. As we have learned, you're not super prepared for the world alone. You should not be let outside. Your parents failed you, etc.
すごく気をつけるわよ。
危ない。
危ないのに。
Well, I promise I'll be super careful.
ユリウスのやつへこみすぎなきゃいいけどな。
Oh, he's destroyed. Yeah, he's
心
gone.
配？
Rightly so. Not at all worried about him physically right now. Julius has taken some emotional blows.
ラインハルトが王国最強で他の三国にもそれぞれ最強がいる
There's
って
more
こと
people that strong. That's crazy.
ボラキア帝国一将。
Well, that's interesting though. It's kind of exciting that he doesn't have just a monopoly on power.
それか
Sure,
ら
we'll
体
meet them
と都市
later.
国家の第三者ハリベル。
He looks like an animal, like Red 13 from FF7. This will come up in like season 6. Well, actually, we've heard his name before. It was when we were in the trials. I mean, honestly, I feel like this is a huge lore drop for multiple reasons. Not just that there are people as powerful as Reinhardt, but these whole other kingdoms. I also am intrigued by the name The Admirer. It's a pretty interesting warrior name. Actually, looking at him again, I mean, if we're going to use Final Fantasy references, it could also be Freya from 9, like the rat people. For once, this is maybe more relevant, I think, than just, an odd reference that comes to mind for me. I have a hunch that the author is a fan of the Final Fantasy series. Can't validate that at all, just a feeling.
箸も使いこなしていたのよ。
本来の使い方と違いすぎて使いこなしてたって言っていいもんか。
お兄さんたち、
Wow, what a nitpick.
一人にしないで。
I understand and now sympathize greatly with your fear and your loneliness. 400 years in a library where you can't read the books. I mean, that's not fun. Curious what she did all this time. What was she doing? Sit and cry? And snipe intruders. Murder.
やっぱり殺しても死なないやつだったんです。
That guy we don't have to. Fake swinging. Right, she did mention him, yeah.
また私の胸ズバズバ揉むために。
Oh, so you got the chopsticks too. He just does this.
レイドアストレア、
Right, yeah.
初代の牽制よ。
Right. Yeah. That's tough, man. That's hard. He's dead though, right? He's here as a spirit. Wow, he did all that to Julius and he's not even alive. He's not even real. He like crushed Julius as a corporal being. That's humiliating. I feel so far with this arc, every answer adds 4 questions. And like some we just don't seem to be coming back to. Like, what the hell was the Minotaur thing we fought in the sand cave? Why was that there? I don't know. For example, why are they like not spirits, but also not dead and can live 400 years?
お前の知恵があのバカ野郎
He's gonna try again. This is not good though. Being angry is not a solution. Being angry is not a skill, you know?
ルベニカ王国この騎士団所属ユリウス・ユークリウスそのつまんねえ肩書き名乗ってる間俺の遊び相手にもなんねえよ
There's a great comparison here too, because Julius comes in here with this whole like, I am Julius Juukulius or whatever of the Luginica Imperial Knights, yada yada yada. But then he gets his ass kicked by somebody who doesn't care at all about titles, deliberately avoiding them. I mean, he does categorize, but it's more based on like first impression in a very like practical, down to earth sense, if vulgar, you know, like hot chick, wuss, follower. And what's frustrating about it is that he's right from Julius's perspective. Yeah, Julius is a follower. Sparrow is a wuss. What can you say? If we're measuring against power, if the game is power and ability, whatever this guy says is right, because he's the most powerful. Oh no, yeah, it's not. There's something there too, right? There's a metaphor there as well. They're predictable. No freedom. No freedom of self. There was nothing that would suggest this would go any differently, you know? This is just pride. It's refusal to accept. Oh no, it just gets worse and worse. I mean, he's not even using a sword, but, you know, Julius trained his whole life. I mean, this is from his ancestors. It didn't even start with him. He's carrying the legacy of everyone that he respects. The great humbling. Oh. This is raw, but like you hope this will be good for him eventually, right? There's a lesson here. Oh, he's already, I mean, he's been here to some extent before, yeah. Oof. He can't even begin to swing. All my hopes and dreams are riding on you, Julius. Love the music. That's wrong, though. I'm not gonna let you finish that sentence. Not even a follower. Wow, you've been downgraded to not follower. Follower would have been a compliment for you. That's a reach. Your new reach goal is my follower. Oh my god, he's gigantic. This is brutal. Subaru believes in you. So dramatic. Here he comes. He looks so broken. What? No way. Hello. Nah, he's fine. Physically, emotionally, he's not fine. Okay, yeah. We got a lot of work to do. Multiple levels. We just need to have this breakdown. But he's happy though. Subaru does like you. I mean, he does like you and loves you no matter what. It's not only about your power. That's the delusion. I think that's what he was starting to say, right? That's like, you don't see your own value and you think you need to like contribute something, like it's an exchange. When like, I mean, it's tricky. It's not like that's not true. I also think it's a mistake of thinking like, well, you know, you're perfect the way you are and you're super special and you deserve everything and you deserve to be liked and people have to like you. And if they don't like you, that's their problem. They don't understand how special you are. I mean, no, like we're all living our own lives and we're trying to navigate things in the best way we can and we have to make choices. You want to have positive influences in your life that are a good match for you and sort of light up your life, and certain people are going to be a better fit for that than others, and there are different levels of maturity. It's typically important for there to be overlap of values, but there are a couple key distinctions. One is that it's not exactly a bartering type of thing, right? Like in exchange for your love, I will provide you X service. I think that's obvious in the extreme where like if someone isn't into you, for example, there's just nothing you can do to get them to love you at least, right? You can maybe bribe them to spend time with you or even to date you or something, but you cannot ever force someone into loving you. It's a delusion to think you can do it, and you probably wouldn't want to do it. You know, like if you could find a way to get the attention of the person you most admire or most in love with or whatever, it's kind of a fool's game because you're never actually going to get it in the way you want it. I'm all over the place here, but tangent from there, probably it's actually just because what you really need it from is yourself. Like your mind has formed this weird equation where for me to be lovable, for me to be convinced I'm lovable and to feel love for myself or, you know, whatever, self-respect, then I need it to be evident that other people think that about me. And so I need to align my actions so that I can receive it from them so that I can feel self-worth about myself, which when you think about it is you completely throwing away any sort of leverage you have on it. You can't pay someone else in the hope hopes that that'll end up with you loving yourself, right? It's so many steps removed. The much more direct path there is what would I respect myself for being? What are my ideals? What do I believe in? And then what do I have to do to get there? What would it take for me to look in the mirror and be like, you know what? I like who I am. Or maybe more importantly, more significantly, I like my trajectory. I think that's more key than the given state. I like what I'm becoming. But anyway, I think that sometimes we naturally have this feeling that we sort of have to control for what we put out into the world, what we project ourselves as. Can't let people see this about me, right? But I think that sort of misses the point, because in the way that matters most, people actually are just intuitively, naturally great at reading people in the way that matters more, in a way that sort of can't be kept secret. You know, we'll agonize over some embarrassing factoid about our lives or some mistake we made that we don't want to come to light. We don't reveal certain interests or hobbies about ourselves. But meanwhile, all the information that actually factors into someone's decision about whether they want to spend more time with us is blatantly obvious. You can't hide it because it is who you are, you know? It's elements of your thought process, emotional control, and values, right? And that's not to judge it, right? It's just like, you just are where you are for now. And people, generally speaking, know who you are and where you are for now. We all sort of can see each other. And I think that's a scary thought and sounds kind of intimidating and maybe is anxiety fuel, until you realize that we're not static objects. We're not like one frame. You just are wherever you are now, and like you're developing. And so, you know, it's okay ultimately. I think it's only really an issue if like you're stuck, you know, if you're just in a quagmire and you won't allow any other inputs, or you hide from the world, you know, speaking of which. You yourself get stuck in an identity or a single frame, like a title, for example. There's so much good news, bad news here. People aren't really that concerned with it, right? Like, you can think about this in reverse, like how you think about other people. Imagine somebody you have noticed recently that you have like had a judgment flash through your mind, like, oh, this person's sort of immature or whatever. Yeah, like you've had a negative thought, but you also don't really care, right? I have instinctual thoughts about people all the time, and that feels like it would be bad news that I'm having a negative thought about someone, that they're not willingly showing me this negative aspect, I'm just perceiving it. But the good news is that like it really doesn't matter. You know, I don't really care that this person has this negative aspect, as long as it's not like super egregious and affecting my life negatively. It's just an observation, right? Like it just passes through and there's nothing really that comes of it. So yeah, it's like worse than you thought and better than you thought. But then like through all that, the actual real good news here, the real sweetness of it, is that if people like you, they just like you. There's something about you that is just you that is resonating with that person or those people. And it's not along the categories that you're thinking. If it's truly genuinely regard for you, then you could provide nothing. I mean, you could probably even make a ton of mistakes. You could fail. You could get your ass kicked by a guy with chopsticks. It changes nothing, because like that was never really the evaluation in the first place. It wasn't like, oh, you know what? I think Julius is a great guy and I really love him because he's such a great fighter. It's just the wrong mental categorization. And I also happen to think there's something really special about those sort of relationships. And it's more than just random chance, right? It's like everyone is trying to align themselves towards something, consciously or unconsciously. Everyone is sort of reaching for something. And we have sort of this innate sense of what it feels like and what it means to be in the midst of the realization of that kind of potential. That sort of resonance you get with friendship. Maybe it is random in the sense that circumstances beyond your control brought you together, but it is not random, or it's not for no reason that that bond was so strong. It's because something like your destinies are crossing. There is something complementary for you about the realization of who you both can become. But like we can't understand that at all, right? It's such sort of like a high thing. So like the way we try to rationalize it to ourselves is, well, people like me because I provide them this. And it's not wrong, you know, but it's also way better than you probably think. It's also, again, why it's not really possible to like get there through deliberate transaction. It's too big for that. And like there's a lot more to explore, right? But I think already it's obvious that Julius and Subaru are on that sort of complementary path, which is why they work so well.
あの眼帯野郎が誰だか知ったら驚くぞ。
レイド・アストレア
You knew.
よくわかったじゃねえか。
Maybe he
こっちは
felt
ショーラが知っててな。
similarities.
棒振りを自称された時点で思うところはあったが
Yeah, yeah, right, makes sense.
ユリウス、
You alright, buddy?
お前とアナスタシアさんが倒れた後にエミリアが試験を突破した。
Oh.
いろんな偶然が味方したのと、エミリアがその特殊だったからだ。
She actually didn't really doubt herself. There's something in here about self-doubt and confidence, right? For sure. Reed said that Julius was predictable and getting in his own way. He lacks the confidence in what he's doing. For some reason, like the way it comes to mind for me is that there's sort of a lack of freedom in it. You're sort of binding yourself in a way that you're not on that point of creation. It's just rote. It's dead. It's stale. Amelia's just being Amelia. Like she's just letting it all hang out. You know, she's going nuts with it. And like that is a character difference too. Emilia really seems to internalize some of the spirit that she and Subaru have helped foster in each other. Julius is kind of like, I'm not really sure I could take that leap. It sounds good and I admire your freedom, but that's not me. That's for silly people like Subaru.
エミリア様が試験を超えられたのであれば牽制0度は超えられない障害では決してないそれが分かったのは
You
大き
saw
な
him
収
bleed,
穫だ
figuratively speaking.
それが分かってくれる。
But like, okay, we beat him in a game, not really in combat.
いつまでも君に背負われたままだと悪酔いしそうだ
I'm glad he's in good spirits.
なんてバレたら俺がエミリアタに叱られる。
Right now, Emilia is the most powerful in the group.
下ろしてくれ
I mean, if he can walk, you should put him down. Yeah. Like, this is unnecessary. Oh, that's just so much worse. See, you should. Okay. Just one humiliation after another. You did this. First, he got defeated by Reed, and now he got defeated by Stairs. He got defeated by a piggyback ride. Ah, you don't mean that. Come on, Smart, you can see through that. It's just the miasma. This is the miasma of embarrassment. It was in trouble. I mean, he was enjoying it immensely. Which part? The part where you fell down those stairs and got salty? It's only once you've lost everything that you're free to do everything. Yeah, I mean, it turns out they're sort of similar. It's familiar, right? He's more yelling at himself right now, sort of. Right. Yes, you are the one. You are my stick swinger. Julius, the kind of person to abuse Return by Death if he had it. Wow, how far we've come. Oh, crazy, full circle. From season 1. You're gonna accept my love, damn it. You're not alone. Don't be sorry, be careful. Ah, that's so cool. That expression. I mean, that's really beautiful. It's so cool. It's such a nice way to end that episode. At the same time, it's not a huge shock given what we've seen from Julius, right? That sort of respect he has for Subaru. Although, like, I don't know, maybe respect isn't the right word, though respect is certainly developed. But like something that deep down he knows he needs, or he deeply wants, but he just can't imagine it for himself. How could somebody be so free like that? How could somebody be that passionate at that great a risk to their character or their self-image or whatever? You know, that's not me. Like, it could be. You know, why not you? It's just probably going to be a long road, and more critically and more drastically, you're going to have to sacrifice things that right now you're not willing to sacrifice, and that's the actual barrier. It's not capability. Like, what that might mean for a lot of people in some situations is you're going to have to embarrass yourself. You're going to have to look stupid. Like, that dream you have, you're going to have to probably fail at it a bunch of times, and people are going to make fun of you for failing at it. I mean, they're actually not, but like that's how you're imagining it. You're gonna have to look like you don't know what you're doing to other people and maybe more critically to yourself. It's gonna be a great humbling, and people are gonna take shots at you like, oh, look at you. You said you were gonna do this. What happened to that? How's that working out for you right now? Oh, nothing yet? Well, you know, good luck with it. Keep going. Given just like the gut instinct evaluation, you would rather just forego all the things you want to not have to eat that. Though it might be interesting that logically, if you were given that choice, right? Like, okay, you can achieve your dreams. If you go through a period of extreme embarrassment, you might logically think it's worth it, but it's different when it hits you emotionally. And like, unless it's being called to consciousness, that is probably where that assessment is happening. It's happening on like the instinctual, man, this is gonna suck. I don't want to feel that emotional level. It's not fun, but like it helps to have the breakdown. The great humbling is it's for you. You know, it helps you ultimately. Subaru, a great example of that. Look how much Subaru's benefited from that debacle. As horrific as that was, as much as I don't even want to think about it, as much sympathetic embarrassment as that scene caused globally, look at what Subaru has become because of that sort of approach. You know, sacrifices must be made. What is really lucky for Julius is that he has Subaru in his corner. You know, he has a real life idol for that sort of thing, for better or for worse. And it's probably just a matter of time. And like, why not now? You know, like actually no one even knows who you are. So this might be the time to experiment.